Juan, I don't know. Thanks.
Oh my God.
Okay, who here lives alone?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the other people, we have roommates. And this is what you usually think about roommates. A dirty kitchen, a mess in the living room. Just that, I understand why some people don't like them. Well, I have 16 roommates, 16 housemates, because I live in a co-op. I live in one of the 4 Cumbia houses. 3 of them are located here in Hyde Park. Several O'Hara students live in these houses. Mine has 16 houses, and it all started, first time I've been living with many people several years. When I moved to Brazil for my internship, I went to a party in this fraternity, let's call it, and I loved it. And it was just like the first picture, a mess in the kitchen, a mess in the living room, but I loved it. We were 11 back then. Then, when I was 26, I moved to Peru, and I tried having less roommates. I only had 2 roommates, but that only lasted 6 months. Then I moved to a big house with 19 roommates, 1 dog, and 2 cats, and it was a blast. I lived there for over a year and a half. Now I live in Concord, which is the name of this co-op that I live in. It's on 53rd and Blackstone by 53rd and Blackstone. And we have 17 housemates, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 1 cat not pictured here. So when I tell people that I live in a co-op, most people usually ask, is it a dorm? And it's not a dorm, it's much more like a dorm. I was looking into trying to explain this, and it said a co-op is involving living together, people living together, but involving mutual assistance and a common goal. And our goal is to live happy and to share many experiences. The second question usually is, how does the bathroom work? Most people have this expectation that you have to do a line or you can't ever use the bathroom. In reality, you just get a lot of shampoos and you just have to know which one's yours and that's it. How does the food work? That's another situation that most people usually ask. And we have dinner together every day at 7. It's optional, you can go. Any here can attend, it just costs $3. You just let me know, I'll let you in. You wanna try and experience it. Then who cooks? Well, we all cook. So I have to cook for 17, 18, 20 people, including guests. Every 2-3 weeks, we have a calendar, and every Wednesday we rotate among the houses to have community dinner. So all 4 of the houses try to get together, and everybody in the bigger co-op have a meal together. How do you feed so many people? I don't know, this show is not so popular. Dinner Impossible, I recommend it. He makes it look really easy. And it's just, we buy things in bulk, you get $20 per meal, and it's easier than it sounds, actually. There are some restrictions. Our houses are vegetarian, and you always have to provide a vegan option. And of course, you have to be mindful of everybody's restrictions. So we have some people who can't do soy, no eggs, and you have to keep that into account. But there's products for everything, so it's not that complicated. What do I cook? That's another thing most people ask. I have been rotating for a year and a half, because you only cook every 3 weeks. Minestrone, beef and potatoes too, back and forth. Nobody notices, they only have it every 2 months. Some favorites, tacos, beans, pasta, bibimbap, those are greatest hits in our co-op. So who does the cleaning? Well, we also divvy it up. You're expected to do 2 hours a week of chores. Who distributes that? The choreographer. So yeah, he's like the chore choreographer. Spelled the same, actually. And yeah, so some people, we have this chart where you get assigned a chore. We also have some officer positions. These are leadership roles. We have 9 roles, so 11 people total can do these. And we have elections. This is how you get nominated. You just, there's a paper, somebody writes your name, you cross it off if you don't want to be elected. We also keep the peace, and we have weekly meetings every Sunday at 7. So it's usually 1 hour long, and it's a chance we get to talk about stuff in the house, You bring up proposals, you take straw polls, you make announcements. I'm gonna be giving a pecha kucha, does anybody mind? Stuff like that. We do fun activities. We have a house Halloween every Halloween. We have a party in our house. Other houses have bigger parties, more external. This is just for like the people in the community. Every Thanksgiving we try to get together with also alums, people who have previously lived in the house and left, try to build the community. We do twice a year, a work holiday. We get together for 4 hours, everybody chips in, try to fix stuff around the house, paint, and all sort of random activities. I remember last year's Polar Vortex, we played a life-size Clue because we couldn't leave the house, so 13 people were moving around. Conflict is a big thing, and managing it is important. We try to have the principles of nonviolent communication. One of the officer positions we talked about before is the mediator role, so we try to talk about our feelings. We have circles, like special meetings dedicated to avoiding conflict and voicing how we're feeling. So overall, there are pros and cons. I would say cons is less privacy, less cleanliness. You need to have a higher degree of tolerance. But the pros is you have a community, you have another social group other than your classmates and your family. It's more affordable, and I would argue that it's a good public policy. And to end it all, I'm not the only one who lives in a co-op. Felipe here lives in a co-op, and all these people either live in one of the cumbia houses, you might be familiar with them, or they attend regularly. We didn't have one professor, Eric Potage, and 2 second years and 2 first years and 3 second years. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope you consider living in a co-op at some point in your life, because it's really fun. Any questions? Yes?
Who owns the house?
I'm sorry?
Who owns the house?
The co-op owns the house. There's like a bigger co-op called NASCO Properties, and it's like a huge co-op that is has like 200 co-ops that are members of it, and but there's no landlord. It's all in the co-op sphere. Yeah. Yes, over here. How do you apply? You search for cumbia.com, and every summer there's openings. So I encourage you to apply if you're going to be here the next year. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. Yes?
What's the weirdest thing in your house?
I'm sorry, the weirdest thing in my house. The weirdest thing in my house. I guess the pipes. The pipes creak all the time, random places. At first I thought I was possessed initially. But soon I realized it was the pipes. Yeah. Thank you very much.